Hi guys, hey, I got my trusted assistant Veronica today with me, and we want to talk to you for a second about how to better control those rifles when you are wearing just the t-shirt, because we are in the middle of the hot summer, and some of these rifles like Mosins, they have a bad reputation for kicking like a mule.
I would use a non-family friendly word, but that works too.
All right. So, Veronica, the Recoil on Mosin, like this one, 2830, that's the finished Mosin from 7.62 by 54R. It is rather significant. You can start feeling on your shoulder.
He puts it lightly. For me, my fragile self, I'm not going to get into detail.
Yeah, she's not the 250 pounds gal. No, you're like 110. Let's call it 110. Nobody's asking the lady about the weight. But guys, these old working horses, the surplus rifles, usually they do have a metal buttstocks, and this is not very shoulder pocket friendly. That was done on purpose for many reasons in the past. And that metal buttstock basically preserved for a long time. Even on AKs to this day, right? You got them with the metal buttstocks. At some point, rifles started migrating to the rubber pieces. Here we got the M4, the A1 clone, and the rubber helped. Helped to absorb that first punch or shock wave from the rifle. Also, speaking about the sniper rifles, they have become a little bit heavier, so that started helping absorbing the recoil. And the 308, I would say, is a little bit more gentle than 7.62 by 54R, or 7.92 by 57 or 8mm Mauser, so-called, right?
Yes, flex your knowledge.
So they are a little bit more gentle. But going back to the hard to control rifles, even the number 4T and the 303 British, because of the way how that scope is made and rather short stock here, you gotta watch out, because you could become the pirate very quickly with that scope. And I got scoped quite a few times.
I was about to say.
I got scoped by the number 4T quite a few times. So it took me a moment and to learn how to shoot without any add-ons. You can put the slip-on pads on those.
Or as we call push pads.
Push pads, that helps.
Yes.
But like if you want to have a full experience shooting these, you're doing this the old school.
Yeah, getting scoped too. You gotta go full extent.
You're taking a beating, but we'll help you out. We'll help you out. So Veronica, I want you to go behind the rifle.
All right.
And we got it on the tripod here. And what first, most important thing, usually when you're shooting from the kneeling position, the recoil, because you can push the rifle, control with both hands, is not really that bad. The moment when the troubles are starting popping out is when you're shooting like from the tripod, or when you're shooting from the prone position, from the front support, because then you don't have that control up front,
kind of
wobbly or whatever, that front end, right? But we want to have the buttstock of the rifle to be in that pocket just below the collarbone.
Yep.
So everyone has the collarbone in a little bit different place.
Mine's right here, so it's just right underneath
just right there, exactly. And the rifle digs in below the collarbone, because if you will put it on the collarbone, you're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, you're eventually probably gonna break it, especially if you're round after round after round.
Absolutely, and that's the good point. Like if you shoot with the Mosin above 20 rounds, you start feeling it, right? Okay, so you want to have this rifle really contacting the meat only, away from the bones in that shoulder pocket, so you can absorb with the weight of your body that shock from the recoil. And this is not the semi-automatic. This rifle goes basically like this. This is going to be the impulse which you're going to have on your body. The next thing, what I like to do is to use the wrist to control that stock. So I push that stock towards your body, towards the body,
Yes.
my body, and that wrist is pushing and pressing, not hard, but like you controlling that stock. So you got a full contact with your body here, and then the wrist is making sure that this stock stays in that shoulder pocket. So I do not create any gaps between my body or the shoulder, and I have a firm control over the rifle buttstock or over the rifle stock right here. As far as the thumb placement, if you could be consistent and put the thumb over the stock, that's perfectly fine. Just remember, keep putting the same pressure all the time. If you got the issues or you feel more comfortable putting the thumb to the side, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
personally not me. I like to have
exactly.
it over.
And in the old days, really those stocks were designed so you put the thumb over the stock. So that was normal. It's just in the recent years we see more and more, and including me, I like to shoot with the thumb on the side.
Well, you're weird.
Yes,
so that's
we
that.
are weirdos.
No, you are.
So grip, wrist grip on the stock and pushing the stock back, and then you can put the head to the stock and establish the sight alignment, and of course squeeze the trigger and execute the shot. So in the nutshell, these two things, making sure that the stock really is in the shoulder pocket and controlling the rifle with your wrist grip on the stock will help you a lot. Do not have the loose grip, do not hold it like, I'm not touching the rifle. That free recoil shed won't work.
Oh yeah.
Won't work on those full cartridge size rifles. I mean, it will work, you're just going to get destroyed in the process of doing the free recoil stuff. You have to have the positive control of the rifle. I'm not telling you to tense your muscles a lot, but you gotta apply some pressure, and you have to be in the charge of that buttstock.
Yeah, don't have a death grip, but make sure you have a grip on it.
Exactly. It's hard to explain it, but like you want to control that stock. So that's your pressure. Especially those older stocks, it's not like you can adjust anything. It's not like you can fit that stock to you. You have to unfortunately fit yourself into the rifle. Now, going back, let me take that Mosin away. I'll put it on the side. And going back to the scoped old sniper rifles like that number 14. And Veronica, if you could go behind the rifle. That one is a little bit, this stock on the Lee Enfield. And if you could remove your grip to show them this, you got this shape of the stock that makes it a little bit easier
to grab it,
to grip it. And that was done again on purpose. The British really knew what they're doing. Yep. So this helps. And again, the rifle buttstock goes perfectly to the shoulder pocket just below the collarbone. And then you're establishing the line of sight with what you're looking through the scope. Again, please watch out for the distance of your eye away from the scope, because what's going to happen, Veronica put it here, that rifle will slide back. So if you got I'll push the head a little bit away from you.
Like this.
So if you are too close, so rifle slides back and that head hits with those beautiful eyebrows will hit the edge of the scope.
Yep.
And you're ending up looking like a pirate or the victim of domestic abuse. So you don't want to be that person. So basically, remember, when you are shooting a scoped rifles, Again,
Always
the
keep your distance.
303 British has some kick to it. Always keep your distance away from the scope. So that's pretty much it. And Veronica, you are handling all those rifles, you're shooting them, and you're not taking the much beating, right? Like you can handle it.
I can handle it. A couple shots.
But it took you a moment too to comprehend and everything and execute and.
Well, I mean, you just gotta remember it. You just gotta go through in your head. It's just a checklist. But once you get it down, it's just muscle memory.
Absolutely, it's a pre-shot process to go through the list, like you said, checklist. Hey, make sure the rifle sits tight. Make sure I got the good grip. Remember about the distance from the
That's
scope.
only you. I never got scoped.
Because I got that giraffe-like neck, so that's why. But these few simple steps will help you out. And as I said, I'll take that rifle for a second. As I said, when you're in the kneeling position, that really is not the problem, because then I can control it easily, everything. With my forehand, I got more control over the rifle in a position like this. Is when we go to the prone position, or like to when we're shooting from the tripods, that's where you got basically only that front support holding the rifle up front, and there is that, it's allowing that movement, and it's physics, guys. The bullet flies from the front end of the rifle, and that energy has to go somewhere. It's a bolt action rifle. There is no mechanism for a self-loading operations to absorb that energy. So everything basically travels back at you, and sometimes they could jump up. That's another thing which I forgot to talk. Even with the mousing, when you're holding sometimes the thumb like this, and the people put, even with the iron sights, let me switch the rifle so they will see what I'm talking about. This is kind of funny. But even when you have the rifle like this and grip it, Veronica, and when you got that thumb here and you don't have that positive control over the rifle here, put your head to the stock. When some people shoot, you can see the rifle jumps and they hit with the thumb their nose, or they got whacked in the face. So with your own hand, because that rifle is not sitting really in the pocket, so what's happening, it's a slide back and that motion up. So you got the head here, so bang, bang. This is what's happening. So you don't want to be that person. All right, enough with the bullshit talk, right? I hope you guys, that was helpful. I hope you can have some time, even in the summer, some good quality shooting time.
Yeah,
even wearing the t-shirts.
Yeah, learn from our mistakes.
Yes, and it takes a moment to respect those old rifles. But these cartridges are no slouch, so they punch, and they got some power.
They do.
All right. Hey, Patreon of the week name is right here. Thank you very much. Thanks for supporting Vintage Rifle Shooters Club. If you want to grab the t-shirt, Vintage Rifles t-shirts.
Ours is the best.
The best, yeah. The link is in the comments. And let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.